right, Martin, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we are going to roll straight into questions, but before we ask our first question, just wanted to give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about the really cool program that your foundation has going on this weekend and all the names that will be honored here in Vegas.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks. Really, obviously, big weekend for our foundation, and this year was tough in many ways. From a fundraising standpoint, and we ran into roadblocks. I felt like on everything we're historically trying to do, and typically for this month we'd be having our steering wheel campaign, which we've had the past few seasons, and this year. We ran into troubles trying to get steering wheels. So just really a great job, everybody at the foundation, to come up with a new idea. And thanks to NASCAR Foundation for working with us to make it happen. And obviously all the teams and drivers that, participated. Really excited about, the names on the cars. And I think there's so many cancer heroes out there that are really just really excited about this program so far, and getting to see their names on the cars going around. And it's been a big deal for fundraising for our foundation as well. So really just hats off to everybody involved, and really fired up to, to see this go down here at Vegas this weekend.
All right, we are going to take our first question for Martin, and we'll go to Woody Kane. Go ahead, Woody.
Hey, Martin, appreciate your time. I know you're probably focused on Vegas, as you should be, but I wanted to skip ahead a week to Talladega, not so much specifically about that race, but just sort of the state of super speedway racing now, since we've seen so many, things evolve, from tandem racing to manufacturers sticking together to guys riding in the back and then not wanting to do that anymore. Where do you see sort of the state of super speedway racing right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that's always been part of it, I guess, is the unknowns and, the opportunities for things to happen that you necessarily don't want to be a part of. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast. So I think really the strategy has changed to, with the manufacturers all working together and pitting together and trying to come up with, the best strategy to run their race, to try to, not only give themselves the best chance to win, but also, I think, stay out of trouble. And, it seems like when you have, those packs of, manufacturers working together, there's less chance for the big crashes to happen. Ultimately, it always comes down to, a caution, a restart, the field bunched up, and, whether it's, in the middle of the race going for a stage win or stage points, or at the end going for the win, it always seems like that's when the chaos happens. So you're never really too far out of the dangerous waters at the super speedways. But, in general, I feel like, guys have more strategy involved than they used to, where it used to be just go out and race and try to keep yourself at the front. Now there's a lot more to it. But at the end, I think it's all the same. And, hopefully for us, we'll be able to have a good race there.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, next question will be from Claire B. Lane. Go ahead, Claire.
Thank you. Martin, you have made the round of 12, this is the sixth time you've made the round of 12. How different is your mindset or anything as you head into the race this weekend at Vegas?
I'd say probably a little bit different than past years, especially, the past few, where we had lots of bonus points, and, we really came into, especially this round, in really good shape. And now I think we're only plus 11. So that changes things, I guess, a little bit, but, at the same time, we know what we need to do, and feel like Vegas is a good place for us to go and have a good race, and hopefully potentially be able to go to victory lane. So things have been going really well for us lately, minus Bristol, I'd say, last weekend. It's, the team's done a really good job, and our cars have been fast, and we've been leading laps and doing the things we need to do. So, if we can just, turn that into a win once in the next two rounds, that's all we need to do. Win once in the round of 12, once in round of the 8, and we'll be where we want to be. But, excited about the opportunity, and feel like it'll be a good track for us.
So you're a humble, giving guy with your helmet off. How are you when a faster car is behind you? And do you move over? Do you give them an inch at all, ever? Is there a give and take still existing, or no?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, I think that's something I've always tried to do. And, at the end of the day, you got to get the best finish you can get. And if that, if that's, racing clean, giving guys a little bit of room and cutting guys some breaks here and there, that's worth doing, in my opinion.
Thanks a lot. Good luck. All right. Good luck this
Thank you.
weekend.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Mike Solarte. Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks very much. First off, over your right shoulder, happy birthday to whomever had a birthday. And second, and then back to Vegas. You talked about this as being a nice week to pick up a win. Is that predicated more on just locking into the round of 8, or is it predicated on, oh my goodness, Talladega and the Roval are after this, and those are as big a wild card? This is as big a wild card round as you have in the playoffs.
I think both. I mean, I think all that stuff comes into your mind when you look at, the next 3 races. And, at the same time, I feel like we have a good opportunity at all 3 to do well, and especially the Roval and in Vegas. But, Talladega is definitely a wild card, and you don't necessarily want to have to, worry about getting, a good finish there or a finish at all. So, I think, just it would make things a lot easier, a lot less stressful, and if we could go win at Vegas. So that's our plan. I'm sure everybody's, all the guys left are in the same boat. They all want to win this race just so they don't have to worry. So I think that goes for, pretty much all the rounds, no matter where you're going.
Thanks, Martin.
Okay.
You're welcome.
We're going to take our next question from Marty with ROC Sports. Go ahead, Marty.
Thanks, Amanda. What's going on, fellow Martin? How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good. First off, I want to ask you about some news that came out. Well, not came out, but reported earlier this week. We've heard reports through The Athletic that NASCAR could be making a stop at Circuit of the Americas next year. As a multi-time road course winner, would you be up for it, or what's your take on it?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. Anytime, we're talking about going somewhere new, I think it's a great thing, and everybody looks forward to that. So, I don't know much about the track. I've only seen, bits and pieces of races there, but I think it would be great. I love road courses, and that certainly looks like a, really nice one. So, be fun to try, and we'll see if we get to do it.
And also, what are your thoughts on your teammate Denny Hamlin starting up that new team with Michael Jordan next year?
Well, I think it's interesting. I mean, it's, anytime you have, new owners, and especially somebody of that caliber come in, to our sport, it brings more excitement, more eyeballs, and gets more people interested. So I think for all involved, it's a great thing, and I look forward to see how they do.
Thanks for your time, man. Good luck to you this
You're
weekend.
welcome. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Steven with 24/7 Sports. Go ahead, Steven.
Hey, Martin, I wanted to ask you a question about Talladega next week. This next weekend is going to be the 20th anniversary of the 2000 Winston 500, which was Dale Earnhardt's final win. I don't know if you watched that race when it was happening, or if you ever went back and rewatched it, but what do you think has been the lasting impact and legacy of that race?
Well, I think the legacy of that race was just, how far back Dale came from in the last 2 laps to win. Obviously, super speedway racing has really evolved a lot in those 20 years. But, just to see, that was kind of a reminder of, what Dale could do on a super speedway, and, how guys kind of feared him on those tracks, as far as, if he had a run, they weren't trying to block. They weren't, making any crazy moves, and whoever was behind him wasn't going to, do anything but push him to the front, which was Kenny Wallace. So pretty neat to think back to that. And I believe I was watching it live.
Sounds good. Thank you, Martin.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Eric Smith. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, Martin, out of the last 73 mile-and-a-half races, nobody's won as many of them as you. But for whatever reason, out of the last 14, we've had 12 different winners. Have you noticed any changes to how the racing is on mile-and-a-half tracks? Is it the new car, the way people are racing? What is the difference, and why there's so much parity now?
I think it's, it's mostly the cars and, the situations where it seems like we always have a late restart. And, you look at, the way these cars drive and the way we on restarts, you just don't have a lot of horsepower, right? So you can't get away from each other. You're kind of at the mercy of the drag and the horsepower, and we all end up in a big wad for 2 to 3 laps, and that's kind of, I think, where we've seen the different winners come from, and it seems pretty consistent that we have those late cautions.
And coming back to Vegas, this was your and James' second start together, and now this will be your 30th. How much change have you noticed as the course of the season has gone on, and how comfortable now are you with him on your pit box going in at around 12?
I think just more confidence, as we went through things and, tried things that didn't work, and then kind of circled back to, kind of doing what we were used to doing. So definitely confidence is up. And I think not only from, the standpoint of me having confidence in what he's bringing to the racetrack, but I think him and his decisions, when he's on the box and, split second decisions, I think he's obviously gotten more comfortable, and that's something that you can only get with time. So, feel like things have been going really well for us, aside from Bristol, and obviously looking forward to hopefully having a good showing at Vegas.
Thanks, Martin. Good luck this weekend, man.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take one final question for Martin. Michael Shelton, go ahead with your question.
Thank you very much. Well, Martin, just kind of following up on Marty's question about Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan, you were a part of a single car team when you won your NASCAR Cup title with a Furniture Row Racing. Just wanted to just ask, do you think with Michael Jordan's resources that they have a much better, they have a higher chance of succeeding? And also, have you ever considered possibly moving into an ownership role moving down the line?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting. I think there's there's obviously a lot that goes on behind the scenes as far as owning a team and all it takes. And you look at obviously we had a lot of success at Furniture Row as a single car team, but you look at how long they'd been around, how long it took them to get there. It was it was a process. So obviously having the financial backing, having the sponsorship, having the resources to draw from, whether it's a manufacturer, a alliance team, or whatever it is, you still have a lot of parts and pieces, a lot of moving things, a lot of people. And, at the end of the day, I think, it's really all about those people that, what can they do? How can they take these resources and these opportunities and make the best of them? Because, no matter what, they're still up against, 4-car teams and big organizations and all those things. So it's a heck of a challenge. I'm sure Barney Visser could probably explain it a little bit better than I can, because he kind of went through a lot there. But I think they're in a great position to be able to make this happen and be successful. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. And at the end of the day, I think it's a great thing for the sport to have another team coming in, and one of that caliber with Michael Jordan. Being an owner. So I think it's huge and it's exciting. I haven't really thought much about ownership, and I don't know that that's a road I would go down, but you never know what the future holds.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.